How much of this do you feel is a show?
And this is a mockery of pro fighting.
Hey, Aria from BuzzFeed.
Let's have some boxing questions, please.
That's what I'm saying. Not one question. No one has a single question.
I got a question.
And our third judge has it, 57-57. It is a majority draw.
For someone who works at a media company, I am still embarrassingly baffled by YouTuber and influencer culture. In a world driven by social media and followers, these personalities are able to build these almost cult-like fandoms that will basically buy into anything they do. And we have a perfect example here in LA in a few days when YouTubers KSI and Logan Paul square off in a boxing rematch at the Staples Center in what is not only going to be a viral event, but what is sure to be a huge payday for the both of them. I'm gonna be straight up front with you, Emma. How much of this do you feel is a show?
In terms of, show, I believe they're meaning every word they say. They want to end the other. They want to show that they are number one. I don't believe that any of that is set up.
Part of the reason why I'm particularly invested in this project is that earlier this year I trained and fought in an amateur MMA fight. I remember speaking and interviewing these different fighters who made it very clear that a fighter's life is a very poor one.
I've made $0 and 0 cents fighting. Moving on to getting paid or maybe barely breaking even is what I want to do.
You train twice a day, 3 times a day, every day for months, years on end, and you still might not even get your break. There's no money in this stuff, It's enough to keep the lights on. That's cool.
I feel for them in a way when I hear about fighters that have come out and criticized Logan Paul and KSI.
I find it almost insulting to everybody that has dedicated their life to being a fighter, come up the hard way, and these two come in. They're almost making a mockery out of the sport.
In many ways, I feel like this whole event is kind of emblematic of my gripes against influencer culture, where these two popular personalities can just throw themselves at Staples Center in a main event in a sport where people have spent their entire lives toiling over for a dream that these two guys get to live out for pure entertainment value and possibly a quick buck. But I know you kind of disagree though, Jack, right?
I don't fully disagree. I completely get what you're saying and I understand people's frustrations, but if they have the fans and the popularity to sell out the Staples Center, like why shouldn't they?
Good to see you again. I do understand why guys who've dedicated their whole lives to something could feel frustrated that in a way these guys are jumping the queue. Most of the high-level boxers today, they started by junior high school, if not earlier. I'm anxious to see, what they can do and how they look.
We have passes, so we're gonna get a closer look at things. The other fighters on the card are getting in first, and I think as the sun sets and the night goes on, eventually KSI and Logan Paul will be in there.
5 vans just pulled up, so it's a big squad coming in.
Logan's walking in. This is quite a horde that I've gathered here. Oh God. Security people are animals.
All the cameras pushed.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Maverick, Logan Paul!
Well, Logan Paul got into the ring. The first thing I noticed was that he drops his jab. He's really kind of like flicking his punches. Very common in early fighters. You're leaving your face open for the right hand. So look, they got the foam pads. The coach is clearly missing wide and showing him what's coming. I would not be happy about this if I were the coach. Fight at this level. So at some point during Logan's workout, KSI walked up onto the corner. That's something that wouldn't be allowed unless they were looking to have a confrontation.
Do some punching. I want to see some punching.
I don't think I've ever seen it happen in an open workout. It's usually at the face-offs.
You ain't ready to do nothing. Set up.
Publicity stunt. If you didn't want that to happen, you would have kept KSI's team back until Logan's team got out of the ring. They set that To increase the hype for the fight. The biggest thing that I think was confirmed is that these are not professional boxers. His hips aren't turning all the way over. It's mostly arm punches. His chin's up in the air. That's very dangerous. I thought it was very unusual to see KSI come out with therapy bands. Never seen a fighter lift physical therapy bands in an open workout. Never. This is a first. This is kind of like watching a children's yoga class right now. I wouldn't even call these guys decent amateur boxers. And I don't think it's fair to expect them to be. So, you know, it's not a knock. These guys look to me about where you looked before you went into your fight. They're still very early in the learning curve. It's really not fair to be, you know, comparing them to pro fighters. It's just not. How legitimate is it as a fight? You know, it's not. These are not two guys who people should be paying $50 to $100 to watch. I mean, this is a mockery of pro fighting. I could see why pro fighters would be bitter about it, but it's evolution, it's technology. There's no fighting social media. That's become such an essential part of our world. This is what it is. It's two guys who are good at getting attention, not two guys who are good at boxing.
I mean, if you consider it's a nothing fight, I mean, these dudes, they don't know how to fight. Let's be clear about that. They have promoted it very well. Like, I know good fight promotion when I see it.
It's Thursday now, we're 2 days out from the fight, and we're here for the press conference. We brought along this thing to add some legitimacy. I don't normally like using it, but I guess there's a first time for everything.
Hardcore fans of boxing look at this and say, this is the absolute worst thing that could happen. This is a sideshow. The other side of that coin is it brings more eyes to the sport. It brings more casual fans to the sport. And like it or not, that's what we want. We want more people watching.
One perspective I didn't consider until today was, of course, the fact that, yeah, these are two YouTubers that are taking the top spot in a professional boxing card, but they are bringing more eyes onto the sport. They're giving a platform for these other fighters that will have millions of eyes on it. And is that a bad thing for the sport?
We know that there's a whole new audience coming to this sport on Saturday night. And the aim for us is to make sure that this audience gets to fall in love with all the things that we fell in love with this sport of boxing.
KSI has arrived.
If you think these two guys can fight, they can't fight for but it doesn't matter. What matters is that they have sold a story, they're trying, you can give them credit for trying, and they can generate a huge audience.
We've actually been invited to go speak with Logan Paul. I can't be too aggressive with my question because if not, they may just, take away our media pass. Hey, Aria from BuzzFeed. You gotta be smart about it. I mean, you get a position for what you need. Hey,
what's up?
Aria, nice to meet you, man. Thank you for having us.
Can you help?
Honestly, speaking with Logan, it was a lot different than I expected. Despite what preconceived notions I had of him, he was a very nice guy.
Can I stand on this side?
Yeah, sure, don't mind. Yeah. He seemed genuine,
No stunt. Sort of done with the fake shit. I had that era on YouTube where everything was clickbait and I would just say things to say things. Not anymore.
He's claimed that after his past controversies that boxing kind of saved him. And that's something that I kind of relate to, right? I mean, for a long time before I trained for my fight, I felt kind of directionless.
I shot myself in the foot. I was deep in a dark hole. And to be honest, I don't know what I would have done if I quite literally didn't fight my way out of it.
I mean, you guys are granted an opportunity here that so many fighters would dream to have. Do you take this opportunity lightly?
Absolutely not. We're both well aware of that. That's why we've been training as hard as we possibly can. Boxing was, it was slowing down a bit. It was the taxi business. And JJ and I are Uber.
We're gonna hurt you. You're gonna get beat up really bad. I told Logan, if you don't put this man in a hospital, something wrong.
The press conference was wild. The coaches were going at it. Logan and KSI were going at it. My mind's in a bit of a weird place right now because I won't lie, I was very, very entertained. Jack, you were having a great time too.
Yeah. You don't know anything when it comes to anything. You strike me as a dumb person.
At the end of the conference, they opened it up for people to ask any questions, and nobody asked anything.
No one has a single question.
No boxing questions.
Any boxing questions from the crowd?
Unreal.
And I definitely had my fair share of questions, so I thought, what the hell? I got a question.
Yes.
This is a big event, main event, Staples Center. You guys are fighting on the top of a card. You got champion fighters on the card. You guys are making your pro debuts. Do you guys feel a sense of responsibility with this platform you've been given to the sport? And you feel you've earned your place there at the top of the card?
Good question.
Great question. I know what it's like to be a pro fighter, and it's tough. I told myself, I don't think I can do this. But you know what? I realized I can do this. I am a dog. I'm a fighter.
You're talking about guys that had 20 million subscribers on YouTube each. No matter what these guys decide to do, it's going to be a big deal. So they decided to put on a fight. Why should we be mad at that?
You know, I saw your debut. It was not in Staples Center, but I can tell you one thing about it. I've been covering combat sports for, 15 years. That's the real thing, what you did. That is the real thing. That is what it looks like at that level, earning their keep. And the reality is, they're not going to turn this into some kind of career. You box anybody at a decent pro level, they're going to f*** them up, man. I take it for what it is. It's two guys who train hard for something that they seem to care a lot about. People want to see it. You let her rip.
Logan Paul!
Your mother provided you a wonderful surprise. You guys are here to see Logan Paul versus KSI. You're a Maverick, as I can tell.
Maverick. Yeah.
Your first time at the Staples Center, and you're here for Logan Paul.
Yeah.
You came here from Mexico for this?
Yeah.
Who are you guys big fans of?
Logan Paul. Logan Paul.
No, I disagree with that.
You're a KSI boy.
I'm a KSI fan.
You don't really care who wins.
No. Not at all.
I mean, it's crazy. You see, there are so many young kids here. All right, Jack, how are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm excited. Are you?
I'm looking forward to the fight. It's a very interesting cultural milestone. Two YouTubers, two influencers at the top of a professional boxing card at the Staples Center. It's gonna be an interesting night for sure. What a time. How do I just say? I'm exhausted.
That was fun though.
They're not professional fighters who do this for a living. But the reality is they've gotten in here, they fought their hearts out, and so I do think they deserve, more credit than I gave them.
I think it's kind of like your fight. If you didn't work for BuzzFeed, would you have been able to get the training you did or get one of the main fights on the fight you did? I mean, that was a big promotion.
Can't argue that. I think it's all perspective, isn't it, in the end?
Right.
I came into this week not caring about these two guys, not caring about this fight at all.
Right.
But moments before the bell rang, when I saw them in the ring facing each other, I felt like
you got the anxiety.
I felt the anxiety for them. When I stepped into the cage, I remember the nerves went away. As soon as the bell rang, the nerves went away, but the moments leading up to it were it just like seemed forever. And I just felt those nerves again for some reason tonight. And I wasn't even fighting.
Your journey and your experience are so recent that I think it's not at all surprising that you were able to kind of instantly identify with what they were feeling. It's a ring, and it's you, and it's another guy, and you guys are going head to head. It really doesn't matter if there's one person watching or a million people watching. You got that again a little bit without actually having to go in there. Maybe that will get your ass back in the gym.
There's no one big conclusion to it all. I think social media will always have its pros and cons. But I guess I definitely leave this week with a lot more respect for what they did.
When are you gonna fight again?
If this were a movie right now, this would end with me getting up out of this couch, walking over to my glove over there, taking it out of its case, and then cutting to black. But I'm too tired to go up there.